Wow.
No, I'm not referring to you. I'm not referring to you personally. I'm referring to some of these. And there's a lot of big ones out there that I'm not going to bring up names because I don't even play that way. They're just so far off base that it's like listening to Vince Russo tell you how great he is.
I remember Vince was I don't know, but I'm trying to create entertaining radio. Vince was an internet guy that got big, and all I got famous for was shooting on Triple H and Hulk Hogan on YouTube videos, and then I got the chance to interview a bunch of people because I had no contacts, and I came from the basement of a house.
Yeah, I worked for PWI for years. I worked for Bill Apter.
Yeah, he's cool. Bill Apter is one of the greatest wrestling columnists in the world.
Yeah, and I worked for Pro Wrestling Illustrated for years. I covered the West Coast matches for him.
Now I got somebody to cover my match with Triple H.
No, I'm in Boston now. And I'm
where
have
I got to go? Is it Dallas WrestleMania is next year to fight Triple H? I'll give you a call. I'm putting it out. There's a lot going on.
You're talking to someone who hasn't paid for a pay-per-view in 10 years?
Man, you are getting my approval all the time. The more illegal stuff you do, the more I like you.
No, I don't even watch them. Unless somebody sends me a link or something like that. I couldn't be bothered.
Well, I will send you a link on the hour, every hour for the next 6 months.
Yeah, because I'm just not, I'm not going to bother getting the network.
Yeah, the only good stuff on the network is the retro stuff. That's the only good thing because the rest
and that's
of it
on
is
YouTube.
Yeah, and on-demand stuff, and it's ridiculous. I mean, who wants to watch Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV? Nobody cares about Jerry Springer in WWE.
No.
I mean, that's ridiculous. This is something for Jerry Springer to do.
Well, the ones that are going to watch Springer are the ones that watch Total Divas.
Total Divas. That's another cluster.
I've never seen. I've never.
Yeah, you're not missing much. You're not missing much. Ava Marie was my favorite diva on that show, and they did nothing with her whatsoever. I used to watch her get into arguments with her boyfriend, Jonathan. And I was like, okay, how come you're not talking about how much talent this girl has? You're focusing more on her pregnancy than you are the talent she has.
Yeah. Like I say, well, to me, Divas division's been boring for decades anyway. The last time it was interesting, Moolah took on Wendy Richter.
Divas division got famous.
Lisa, we all do wish you a lot of luck at work.
The Divas division could have a lot of potential, and the only time the Divas division ever got famous was when I started talking about the Divas division. I made AJ Lee famous for talking about it for 2.5 years, and then they finally listened to me and put AJ Lee on top. And then it's just ridiculous. I mean, you have 3 or 4 divas on top all the time, and no other divas are getting the chance. It's just another excuse for WWE to create reality stars.
Yeah, I'm actually reading a post right now where Russo's talking about how WWE hasn't created a star since he was there.
That's true, because they haven't. They haven't. They haven't created anybody. The only thing that wrestling's created in the last 10 years is me.
I don't know. I can think of a couple of guys that have done good. There's a couple of guys if they had a manager, would be awesome. There's a couple of guys that need a manager. They need to bring back pre-Heenan style managers.
Oh, yeah.
No more comic relief. Bring back Precious Paul Ellering as Precious Paul.
Yeah, he was good. I interviewed him, but he's never coming back, as he told me in conversation. He was talking about, at the time he met Dwayne Johnson, and we had a vivid conversation about The Rock, who I also had a vivid conversation about with Diamond Dallas Page, who went on for about 45 minutes while doing yoga, talking about how The Rock had screwed him over. But the thing that Paul Heyman, or Paul Ellering told me, was that once you do something for 10 years, you should move on with your life and do something different. And I don't think we're ever going to see Paul Ellering back ever again. And that's the unfortunate thing about Paul Ellering.
Yeah. Paul was a great manager, but I mean like an old school Texas era Gary Hart. Just somebody who was a mean, vicious, brutal bastard. that can handle a mic. They don't have that. They got Stephanie being shrill. They got Triple H being smug. They got Paul Heyman being a weasel. Bring in a real manager. Bring in somebody that's going to take some bumps as well as give some.
Oh, I can take bumps and give some. The most attractive man knows all about taking bumps and giving some bumps. That's what he prided himself on for years.
Yeah. But I mean, you take like what Paul Ellering had done with the Road Warriors. That was pure genius.
He was a genius. There was. I mean, when it came to cutting a promo, he was the best. And I've heard some of the best promo cutters in the world do their famous catchphrases to me over the phone, doing pre-recorded interviews. I've written promos for independent wrestlers, and I mean, some of the best promo cutters in the business. That's what's wrong with the business. Half the promo cutters in the world are gone. It's tarnished. Absolutely tarnished. There's never going to be another good promo cutter. There's never going to be another great tag team division. It's all over. 80s wrestling is done for.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's not going to be another good... I mean, Ascension has capability if they gave him a manager. Somebody else to talk for him.
Why aren't they helping out Seth Rollins? Why have you got... This is what I talked about on YouTube a couple of days ago. Why have you got Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble from 2005 as the security for Seth Rollins when you have people like the Ascension who are doing nothing?
Because they need some comic relief. That's their thing. That's why they're there, the comic relief. They don't want to make it too impossible to beat them or to get their hands on them. Like Ambrose did the other night. And that was good. I like that. That was a good finish for the show.
He puts me in mind of Brian Pillman so much.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's absolutely fantastic.
I don't think he's going to make the mistakes that Pillman made.
No, Pillman made too many. In 1997, he was found dead, wasn't it? In 1997, they reported that he was found dead.
No, but I mean the other mistakes, like the gimmick he did with Stone Cold with the gun, and that, which just caused such a shitstorm. Sorry, folks, there's no other term to describe it. That got the WWE almost off the air completely.
The
network
WWE had a tendency to go way too far.
The network brass went ballistic.
There's a lot of stuff going on in entertainment, too. We got to keep Bob from not falling asleep. So
I'm listening here. I'm listening here because you guys are keeping the conversation moving in a big way. But I also have to say, too, that when you look at Dean Ambrose, and we talk about this, we talked about Dean Ambrose, we talked about everyone in the Shield. Let's just put it that way. But WWE.com literally did a poll to see who they felt was the most talented wrestler in the Shield. And at the time when I saw it and voted on it, I did vote for Dean Ambrose. But number one, if you could believe it, was Seth Rollins. Of all
I hate that idiot. I can't tell you how much I hate that idiot for doing what he does. I hate it. That guy has not proven himself. I hate him. You have Dean Ambrose there who has so much creativity for his character. He can be funny on times. He deserves the opportunity he has. Where in his mind does he think he's the future of wrestling?
You see, that's where you're buying what they're selling. It's all about the unfairness of him being champ. And that's exactly what they were selling, and you bought it.
I bought it, but that doesn't mean that I like it. I'm buying it, yes.
That means he's done his job. You're talking to a former professional a-hole here. I got paid to do the same thing he's doing. Piss you off.
Well,
and he's doing it.
I'm throwing it
over,
out,
son.
I'm throwing out the challenge. Me against Triple H and Seth Rollins 2-on-1 at WrestleMania 32. And anyone who wants to team up with me can. I hate Seth Rollins. In entertainment news, they're firing Mr. Burns. They're firing Mr. Burns off The Simpsons. I hate that, too.
Well, they didn't fire him. They just didn't agree to the contract he wanted. That's not fire. That's disagreement.
That is what I call someone standing up for what they believe in. He was on that show for over 25 years. Just because he wanted an extension on his contract, he should have been given it. Anybody
it wasn't the extension he wanted. It was a hell of a lot more money.